Today I'm gonna have a look at what is the difference between the TWS i11 and i12 and which one you should get, if either. Hey everybody, just a quick reminder, if you like these kinds of videos and you'd like to see more of them, please remember to subscribe down below and enable bell notifications so you can get notified of future uploads. And now, without any further ado, let's get to today's video. Today with me here I have both the TWS i11, which I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, so if you haven't checked that out yet, go check that out because I will be making a lot of references back to that review. And I also have the TWS i12s. Now, both of these two headsets do look a lot the same. They almost look identical. They both are clones of the original Airpods, and other than their packaging being slightly different, they are actually very similar. Even in price, they are very similar. They both cost around about 200 rands, so about $10. So let's see what the difference is between these two and which one of the two you should buy. Now, first of all, let's have a look at what's actually different with their packaging. So there isn't much, as I showed in the review of the i11s. They have just a basic cardboard box like that. And then the i12s, their box is a slightly different shape, as you can see there. But it's a very similar style of box. But here on the back you will see that they do allude to one big difference between the two, and that is that they actually come in different colors, the i12s. Whereas the i11s only come in white, you can get the i12s in a couple of different colors. Now, I in particular bought the white ones just so that I can show more easily the similarities between the two. So yeah, but now let's get them out of their boxes and have a look at the physical difference between the headsets themselves. So first of all, here is the i11s as I reviewed them a couple of weeks ago. That's them. And then the i12s has a very similar style of packaging. Also one of these boxes, just a different shape. This one is square, this one is a rectangle. So yeah. Otherwise, very similar. This one still just has its packaging plastic on it, so I'm just gonna peel that. Oh yeah, there we go. And that's it. And there we go. So as you can see, very similar. This is what are the i12s right here, and these are the i11s. So you can see all around, very similar. Everything about them very similar. As you can see at this distance, you can probably not even see any difference. Even I am having a hard time knowing which one's which now. But this is the i12s and this is the i11s. Let's have a look at what else we got in the box with the i12s, just to see what's different otherwise. So basically, very similar little white lightning cable for charging, same as the i11s, and then just a little manual, just like the i11s. Very similar style of manual, looks a little different, but basically the same design. So that's that. Now let's have a look at the headsets themselves. So first of all, again, just to remind you guys, these are the i12s, these are the i11s. Now I'm gonna open them up. There you can see that's the i12s and that's the i11s. Once again, very similar. Physically, there isn't much of a difference. They have a pairing button on the back. i12s has a slightly bigger button just. They have a lightning port on the bottom for charging just. Otherwise, they're very similar. Now, I have tested them already, and one thing I can tell you is you cannot interchange these in each other's cases. Even though the headsets themselves, the little headphones, there's an i12 as you can see, and there's an i11, As you can see, very similar, very subtle differences. This one is slightly smaller, the headphone part. There you can see the microphone on this i11 is slightly oval shaped. This one is round more. Then just like that. And the bottom for the charging, very similar, all that. But just one thing interesting that I did note is that I did attempt this just for the heck of it. You see how easily these go into their cases? Real simple. These are i12s. Now if you try to put them in each other's cases, they won't go in because they have a little magnet that keeps them in. Now I guess they did this on purpose. They made it so it can't go into the wrong case. So that's something interesting to note. Not that there's any reason to really do that, because you can also not use it with each other's cases. So you have no reason to really want to do that. But now as for the fit, they sit basically identical in your ears. They feel the same exactly. And even their audio quality, exactly the same. Basically they sound identical, these two. It's basically like they just took the same product and put a different name on it. The case, you might not be able to see it on the video. The case is shaped slightly differently. It's like it's very subtle. The shape is slightly different. But other than that, these two are identical. The sound, everything really is identical. So even the battery life is identical. My recommendation with these is that whichever one you can get the cheapest, you take that one. If you are looking at these two, if you were wondering which one you should get, the cheapest one is the best one right here. But then once again, I want to point out something I did originally say in the review of the i11s. You have to keep in mind that audio quality isn't great really. They don't have a lot of bass and they don't go very loud. So if that's not a problem for you, then go right ahead, buy them. But if you are still not sure about whether you want to buy either of these, I do recommend checking out my review of the i11s, because there I went more in depth and more in detail about them. And because the i12s are basically the same, I didn't want to do a review of them because it would basically be identical. So yes, that's basically it then for these two. Get whichever one you can get the cheapest is my conclusion on them. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and please do remember to subscribe down below and enable bell notifications so you can get notified of future uploads. So that's all for today then. I'll see you guys next time.